If you're driving south from Las Vegas toward California, you'll pass a lonely sign that says Gene. Most people never stop. They just notice a giant gas station on one side of the freeway and a tall, lifeless hotel on the other. That building used to be Terrible's Hotel and Casino. Terrible's was once the only real landmark in Gene, Nevada. The hotel opened in the late 80s as the Gold Strike, a casual roadside casino that offered cheaper rooms and easier parking than anything in Las Vegas. It was the first or last stop for travelers crossing the Nevada border, a place to grab a meal, play some slots, and stay for a night. The casino shut down during the pandemic and never reopened. Since then, the property has been left to rot. Today, the building looks like a set from an abandoned movie. Walk around the site and you'll see what's left. The ground floor windows are boarded up. Others on the higher floors are shattered. The once shiny glass tower is sun-bleached and streaked with grime. The parking lot is cracked and filled with weeds. Behind the building, black scorch marks crawl up the concrete where a fire scorched part of the structure. What's left includes an exposed metal staircase that climbs into open air, surrounded by mounds of rubble. You can hear the hum of trucks on the interstate, but otherwise it's just completely quiet. This is the current face of Gene, Nevada, a ghost of a casino surrounded by half-finished plans. A few years ago, the ruins of Terrible's caught a film studio's attention. A horror production company filed plans to shoot a post-apocalyptic Netflix movie called The Battle of Absolute Dominion at the site. The film was set in the year 2085, after religious wars destroyed most of the world. The United Nations saves humanity by organizing a no-rules martial arts tournament to decide who controls the last remaining resources. There was no need to build a ruined city set since this one already exists. But around the same time, a Reno developer bought the entire property, including the dead casino, the surrounding land, and over 140 acres, for about $44.7 million. And he wasn't interested in movies. He wanted to demolish the hotel and build a 1.9 million square foot warehouse and distribution complex called South Vegas Industrial Center. Gene sits 25 miles southwest of the Strip, right along Interstate 15. For truckers hauling freight from California, Gene is close enough to reach in a day, but far enough to avoid the congestion and high land prices of Las Vegas. The vision was that truckers could drop off loads from the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach, turn around, and still make it home that night. It would be a perfect logistics hub. When the property was purchased in early 2022, warehouse demand across southern Nevada was at a record high. Vacancy rates were around 2%. Developers couldn't build fast enough to meet demand from companies expanding their e-commerce networks. By late 2024, vacancy rates climbed to 11.5%, the highest level in more than a decade. Developers had built too much, too fast. High interest rates made financing difficult, and trade tensions, including tariffs and unstable import prices, left many companies hesitant to sign new leases. The new owners put the brakes on the Gene project. So the hotel remains standing, waiting for the next phase. Meanwhile, the Terrible's building has turned into an unofficial monument. The longer it sits, the worse it looks. Its upper floors are dark and empty. The backside is scarred from the fire that broke out months ago. On windy days, bits of debris scatter across the lot. The inside is now covered in black mold from all of the rain leaking inside of the building. Locals driving between Primm and Las Vegas call it the Dead Hotel. Truckers use its empty lot to park and rest. Skydivers flying overhead use it as a landmark for navigation, but no one stays there. And that's part of the larger truth about Jean. No one really lives here. The only consistent population comes from the Jean Conservation Camp, a minimum security women's prison run by the Nevada Department of Corrections. Around 240 inmates live and work there. Outside of that, the town doesn't have residential neighborhoods, schools, or grocery stores. It's not really a town, it's a service outpost. Last month of this year in September, Jean made headlines again for a skydiving accident. 2 sets of skydivers jumped from 11,000 feet above Jean around noon. One pair experienced a serious parachute malfunction. According to a report from the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, both the main and backup parachutes failed. The skydivers hit the ground at 35 to 45 miles per hour, suffering severe injuries before being airlifted to Las Vegas. The instructor told police he had noticed problems mid-jump. He said that the main chute wasn't working as well as it could have, and the reserve chute jammed because a slider didn't go down all the way. The skydiving center is one of the only businesses still active in Jean. Every day, small planes climb over the empty casino before releasing groups of jumpers. Across the highway from the hotel is Terrible's Roadhouse, the 50,000 square foot gas station known for calling itself the world's largest Chevron. It's basically a small mall that also sells fuel. The Roadhouse is busy day and night, packed with families, truckers, and tourists. Jean is a weird place. It's not quite Las Vegas, not quite Primm, and not really its own town. For decades, its economy depended on drivers, people stopping for gas, food, or a few spins on the slot machines before hitting the state line. But as travel patterns changed and bigger resorts like Primm Valley took more of that traffic, Jean's small-town casino model stopped making sense. The new owners are still optimistic. They believe the location, only 25 miles from the Strip, with easy access to the I-15 corridor, is too good to stay dormant forever. The company website still lists plans for over 2.6 million square feet of industrial space, calling it a gateway between Southern California and Las Vegas. And eventually, that may happen. The long-proposed Southern Nevada Supplemental Airport, which would serve as a secondary airport to Harry Reid International, could use Jean as its main access point. If that airport is built, Jean could finally have a new identity. Have you ever visited Jean? Do you think the area can make a comeback? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe for more breakdowns like this, and I'll see you next time.